Marty, thank you so much for that introduction. And as he said, I've sold over 6 million units of, back in the day it was VHS, now DVD. And this is a really different venue for me. I'm typically on stage, on camera, on the mic, and in those type settings, the people don't talk back to you. Unless they're answering questions when I'm in the hallway or something. So this is like what I've seen in the movies, so be kind. And as you mentioned, I sold over 6 million DVDs. I started with Warner Brothers when I was 25 years old. And quick math, that's been 31 years ago. I became a grown-up just a few weeks ago.
Wow, hard to believe.
I'm a grown-up now. So starting with Warner Brothers was an exceptional paving for my career. It led the way for me then to do infomercials, co-author 3 books, sell on the shopping channels, and it has awarded me a lot of opportunity in my life. But there's a whole lot more to me than just the buns of steel. I am a mom of 3, and that is far more important to me than anything else. That's an older picture, but it's just one of my favorites. In the middle, number 10, that's my son Abraham. He's now 22. And then in the big white sweatshirt, that's Sam. He's now 20. And then Mary Frances, but we actually call her May May because when she was born, Sam couldn't say Mary Frances. And so he named her May May. And she's a senior in high school now, and she still goes by May May. And so then backing up to before I was married, before I had kids, the first video that I ever shot when I was in Hollywood was Abs of Steel 3. And that one went #1 with Consumer Reports, #1 in safety. And as I'm sitting there, this is from VHS, so it's pretty doggone blurry. But if you could see and if you could feel what's going on with me right there, right before getting on camera, one of the camera guys goes, "Well, never mind that you'll be speaking before millions of people." So immediately I'm like, I got to get it together. What am I going to do? And I chose that the camera lens was Sally. And so today, even today, I find a Sally in the room. By the way, I had that. It's you. What's your real name, Sally?
Sharon.
Sharon?
Yes.
Okay, today it's Sharon. And so I got over the fear by looking into the lens and just going, it's just me and Sally or Sharon. And if I can get through and I can help her, then I'm all good. So forget about the nerves and just help that one person. Later on in my career, after shooting 10 different releases of the Of Steel series, then I went back to Warner Brothers and said, you know what, I think I can take a crack at this, doing everything full circle and being turnkey producer for you. So those 4 releases were produced after I had all of my children. And I was turnkey producer, not only the talent on the covers, the instructors still on the DVDs, but then producing the entire production and handing them over a disc to replicate. Again, with my career, then it led to infomercials, selling various fitness products on the shopping channels and being in all sorts of retail. And then surprisingly, one of my most successful releases was Fit Mama. And the little tubby guy in the middle is my number 2 child, that's Sam. And that video shocked us beyond belief because it ranked #1 on Amazon for over a year. And it wasn't just #1 in prenatal. It wasn't just #1 in fitness workouts. It beat gardening, which evidently was a huge thing. And it beat movies. It even beat Passion of the Christ and Seabiscuit.
Wow.
Seabiscuit.
Seabiscuit. And then backing up way back, brace yourself. I am the baby of 10 children. And so there's 6 boys and 4 girls, and it goes Phil, Margaret, Pat, Mike, Teresa, Stevie, Baby, Barbie, Tommy, and me. And I am the little shrimp right there in the middle. And then above me, the bleach blonde, that's not my mom's the one beside me. That's my sister Margaret. And then the little bubble up above is a more recent picture of my sister Margaret. I show you this because this is a huge inspiration for why I'm moving in the direction that I am with Simply Move Wellness. Coming from a family so large, I am no stranger to hospitals, retirement communities, skilled, not so skilled nursing facilities, assisted living, funerals. And my career has afforded me the opportunity that whenever any of those family members were in need, I could take off all the time that was needed to go be the patient advocate and help to take care of them. And I found myself helping them with movement while they were bare, bed, or chair ridden. So I became known as, in our family, the Florence Nightingale. And as they were calling me that, I had to look her up and get even more inspired. And I loved one of her quotes: external influences and conditions can prevent, suppress, or contribute to disease or death. And that is one of the main things that has led me in the direction of really zeroing in on the problem of falls. As I was, when I was having dinner last night, thank you so much, Marty, for that. I was sitting with Kevin McGovern, and he said, you know what? Youngsters stumble, but old people fall. And boy, do they. They fall hard. Approximately 36 million falls are reported among older adults each year, and this results in 32,000 deaths. The falls also account for the most common and serious issues contributing to a disability. And more on my inspiration, the reason that I am sitting here before this group today and that I was awarded that opportunity is because of my colleague, Russell Cleveland. Russell is friends with Marty and introduced me to Marty. Russell today is 87 years young. He's a graduate of the Wharton School and one of the most inspiring human beings besides my mother that I've ever met in my life. He, within the last few years, survived COVID and a stroke. And most of that was because of his mindset and doing movement while he was bed and chair ridden. There he's demonstrating he has all sorts of seated moves that he does on a daily basis. And there he's demonstrating one and leading one of the nurses. And of course, that's while he had COVID, there she's wearing the mask. Once he was able to get out of the bed and into the chair, every day at 3 o'clock, he would get together with the other patients and lead them through movements. And this man today is walking, and he's still alive. He wasn't expected to live, and he has 3 sons, and they had already put their names on his classical guitars that they wanted. They had to give him back because he's still kicking. So all of this is where I've come to my vision. I found myself throughout helping my family that I was always doing things to help people in the bed or in the chair. So my vision with Simply Move Wellness is seated movement for those temporarily or permanently chair-bound. My launch market is Silver Fit, of course, for fall prevention and increased mobility among our older generation. I'll also have a sector, Rehab Fit, for any age, any population that's found themselves chair-ridden temporarily or permanently from injury or illness and they're needing to recover. And then of course also Special Fit for the special needs population. And with regard to Special Fit, this is my daughter, Mary Frances. And she's quite a ham for the camera, and I don't know where in the world she got that. She is now a senior in high school, and she has spent all of her years in high school electing for her PE to be the partners PE, where she works with the special needs kids to help them exercise. And many of them are chair-bound permanently. And ironically, that's what I did all through high school. I help children with cerebral palsy. And so she's my little protege, and She is amazing, and she will be leading that division. And so that brings me to my target market. The Silver Fit senior living is a $92.6 billion a year industry. There are at least 33 senior living management companies, and each of them have anywhere from 8 to 1,000 different properties. This accounts for about 19,000 communities in the US. And then as far as the amount of Americans living within those communities, there's currently about 1 million, and that is expected to double by 2030. Huge industry. So of course, being from my big, huge family, this is a very, very special place in my heart, is helping seniors, helping them to improve the quality of their life. There's so much research out there on this, and two notably, the National Library of Medicine says that simply moving improves function of daily living and slows progression of disease and disability. Harvard says simply moving benefits your mental health. So can you see where I came up with the name Simply Move Wellness? It's pretty doggone simple. It's not rocket science. We just need to move. And that doesn't necessarily mean that we need to go to the gym. We just need to be moving. Another big inspiration of mine is there's a show on Netflix right now, a documentary. I love documentaries. And this one's called Live to Be 100, Secrets from the Blue Zones. And I thought it was going to be just these amazing secrets. It was just so simple. These people, they're walking everywhere, they're gardening, and they are in great communities with families and friends. And they're just eating healthy, and it's just simple.
I watched the first episode. It was very good.
I binge watched the whole thing.
Yeah,
I think there's only like 6 or 8 episodes
The
or
first
something.
one
I
was in
couldn't
Japan,
stop.
I believe. It was very good.
Well, I think one element is that was pretty common in the United States forever and in most countries. And we become a very transient society. People move around a lot, right?
Right. There was one of the episodes, and it's probably good that I can't remember what country it was so that I don't bash them. I have a dark sense of humor.
Yes.
So however many hundreds of years ago or whatever, it would be that once the father in the family reached an age where he was of no longer of use, the oldest son would take him up to a mountain and
That's Japan.
you're out of there.
Push them
Well,
off?
Push him off, okay?
Really?
However, this one son couldn't do it. So he took his daddy into hiding. And then he ran his own successful business, and he was really successful. And people were asking, what is it that you've done different? Well, here's dad. He couldn't do it, and he said, I chose to seek his wisdom. And so he had dad there for continual wisdom and support. So let's not be kicking our parents off the cliff when they're of no longer use. They need, and as we age, we need purpose. And I think that that's why a lot of people are still in this room, because you have great purpose. So, yes. After the pushing off the mountain, he wants my opinion on something. Go ahead.
Actually, it's somewhat related.
Really?
Well, I don't know what country that is, so we can just leave that out anyway. I'll talk about this country. I don't know how many places in the world you've sort of looked at this thing. This is an isolated example, or you've looked at a lot. Just by hook or by crook, I've traveled to a lot of countries. I find our country, more than most of them that I've been to, does not have a place for, I'm not even gonna call the elderly, I'm 64. You know.
You look fantastic.
Well, doesn't help. I have no interest in sitting on a beach for the rest of my life. I like what I do. My brain works just fine. And if I have to travel, I'll go a day early instead of staying up all night. But other than that, I'm good. But the world, it's really funny because we have this, diversity push. Great, by the way. But you know what's missing? People my age. So we're pushed out the door. The bank I worked for, I was retired at 58. And there's nobody gonna hire it now. I get into something which is a little bizarre, but I'm gonna say it because there's things in this country that are different in other countries. So when they made the anti-discrimination laws, age was part of it. Okay? Now, for a lot of people, it's a really good thing because they did need protection from bias.
But only from 45 to 60.
What?
Only from 45 to 60.
Saying, but this ends up working in reverse because now you're not going to hire somebody at 58 because if it doesn't work out, you don't want to get sued, by them. And there's no program motivation, Netflix video on how we need to diversify by age, not just everything else on the planet.
We have less than 5 minutes.
Right.
Sorry?
There's less than 5 minutes.
Okay, okay.
Oh,
Well, on
So
that,
the
on
question
that,
of your question is that here versus anything else that you see in the world, where do we stand and what do we do?
well, I feel that more so in the US, that the children are pushing their parents off. And that it's like there's so much of a separation. And that's one of the things that I did like about that documentary of keeping them closer. And then also on the age that for healthcare, they're afraid of the healthcare expenses. So thank you for
That's
that.
structural, but I'm
Yeah.
talking about culture.
Yeah, I think in Europe it's probably worse than the US.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's guaranteed income. So like
Yeah.
if you work in Switzerland and you get fired, you're guaranteed 80% of your income for the duration by the company
right,
for the duration of the time that you were employed.
right.
Marty, is that good or bad? I'm missing.
It's terrible.
It was terrible.
Let's talk about it offline. Keep on going.
Absolutely,
2
absolutely.
minutes.
So in a nutshell, part of my plan is to have an app, in retirement communities, which I'll be zeroing in on them first, there'll be less red tape. I'm not planning, or in any sense of the word, to try and reform assisted living or skilled nursing facilities, too much red tape there. But I think I am preaching to the choir going to retirement communities where they are interested in being active. And so where there's a bingo night, there can be a night where they go and do Simply Move exercises with an app that I have with movements, even frequency music, motivational encouragement, daily movement notifications, meditation sessions, breathing techniques, and brain teasers. And there'll even be some animation. Sometimes I'll be leading the moves, and sometimes there'll be animated characters that are doing fun things and really bringing the audience back to their childhood and really laughing and having fun. There is an offering. I have many years' experience selling on QVC. This type of product has QVC written all over it for their seated audience. It comes with a water bottle, a carrier. The carrier has a little pocket. The two little hearts on the screen are like stress pucks, but I call them fit pucks. They're squishy. So while they're doing the movements, they can be squeezing, causing more isometric contractions, also helping with blood pressure. Those two little, the hearts, I also see as a standalone in retail on the aisle where the medical devices and things are. And then there'll be a coupon for a month membership to the membership site for the
Are you
app.
raising capital?
Absolutely.
How much?
2 million. I just need
And
those.
what's the use of proceeds? Is that to develop this or to market this and produce it?
Everything. Development of the app, cost of goods, and the team to do it. I have, for the sake of time, I'll go, yes, I have current and strong relations with QVC. They're like ready to go. Give it to us.
That's a great skill set to have.
Yeah. And I have a team, the two gentlemen on the outsides, Howard and Michael, I've known since I was 25 years old, worked within the industry, and they are my masterminds. Both of them are product development. Howard is manufacturing and retail distribution. Howard brings all of this and more. and with current relationships.
What's your valuation?
Not there yet,
You gotta be.
not there yet, not there yet.
So are you thinking of using some kind of a convertible note?
Any of my purpose today is to share my vision, and then any other questions on much more broad financial, I'm definitely open to have a one-on-one conversation with, entering that with my financial advisor as
The
well.
simpler one before you get the valuation is, do you have a use of proceeds and a plan? If you had money, what you would do with it? Okay. you
Oh,
don't
if I
have-
had money, what would I do with it? Well, just like what I said, go into the development of the app, cost of goods, and hiring the rest of the team to make that happen.
Right, so I'm gonna say, because I know that she was working for Wharton, I'm not sure if he's still in the picture, a fellow alumni from Wharton. But I would say that if one of you wants to volunteer to work with her and coach her, you know, I think that would probably be a great thing. And she would probably make,
very,
make
very
its
open to that.
advisor and help you out, and you all would benefit as well.
Where do you
Yeah.
live?
Do you have any pro forma statements?
Yes, we have that. I live in Dallas.
Dallas.
I live in Dallas, and you know, what I bring to the table is my time, my talent, my brand, my audience, my team, my connections, my passion. And, you know, for those who have the will, I'm here to lead the way.
Leisa sells, all right? Let's just face it. It's very hard to sell. QVC is an amazing gift to have. It's very difficult. So, you know, having a great salesperson, it's hard to find those people. So, and I've been telling my mother for years to use weights and be more active. She could live to be 110, but I don't think so.